Hey, this dude live TV, and I'm in downtown Buchanan. I got this waterfall in the background, or this water feature in the background, just trying to give y'all a different backdrop than my front porch. But I'm doing my last video on this Kemp Abrams race, and early voting has started. I put my sticker on a button so I could wear it more often, and I like to wear it on election day, and it got kind of wrinkled up because I stuck it in my back pocket after I voted, so it got sat on a few times. But I just want to talk about elections in general and the Kemp Abrams race. The Kemp Abrams race is going to be close, or everybody's polling it extremely close, so turnout's key. So no matter who you're voting for, Abrams or Kemp, I voted for Kemp. Those of you that follow me on social media know that I changed my profile picture over to a picture of Brian Kemp and I on Facebook and on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, dudeorder.com or @dudeorder is my handle. Facebook's kind of limited to friends and all. So, I mean, send me a friend request though if you see me. I let a lot of people in. I'm @dudeorder on Instagram as well. And I'm private, but I started letting everybody in on Instagram. So, but I'm saying that to say this. I want to talk about elections in general, and I'm kind of walking around here. There's the courthouse. People get turnouts higher in presidential years. People get all caught up in who the president of the United States is. And I'm not saying president's not important, but people in general just post a lot of stuff on Facebook, a lot of stuff on Twitter, get very caught up in the presidential races. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I am going to tell you is kind of your passion and kind of your work is for naught there. You're not going to change a lot of minds on presidents. There's a ton of media attention. There's a reason why Dude Live TV doesn't talk about Trump. Trump's saturated. Hillary's saturated. If you get involved in some of these local races, I'm planning on getting involved in 2 years in the sheriff's race in Haralson County for a candidate. If you get involved on those races, you get involved with state house races, there's not a lot of media attention, so you can sway a lot of voters here and there through your Twitter, through your Facebook, through meeting and greeting people. And a lot of times you get to know these people. I know almost every elected official in Haralson County. I mean, there's a few exceptions, but there's some guys here to work on the roof. I'm gonna move this way. But what I'm saying is, sort of, it's misguided. Just concerning yourself or just posting about presidential stuff, because you can't have a lot of influence there. If you want to be influential and sway a lot of votes or have a real impact on a race, one, local races are smaller, so they're going to hinge on a few hundred votes a lot of times, or a few thousand votes. If you've got 400 or 500 people, 1,000 people on Facebook, you can sway a good number of those, because there's not the saturated media attention. Everybody's not locked in on those races, so they don't know a lot of the candidates, so you can sway a lot of those voters. So if you're going to get involved in politics, I'm not saying leave the presidential stuff alone. I mean, I have opinions on every presidential race in my lifetime, but you don't see me post a lot about that stuff. You don't see me make videos about that stuff or tweet a lot about that stuff, because I'm not saying my opinion doesn't matter, but I'm not going to sway a lot of votes. And even if you do sway votes, you know, you got to deal with the Electoral College, who wins your state, that type of stuff. Now, if you live in Iowa or you live in New Hampshire or some of those early states with primaries, you can have a lot of influence over presidential primaries. I'm not saying that, but for the most part, get involved locally, meet your local elected officials, support candidates locally, support candidates and a lot of times, if you work on a campaign or you post some stuff on Facebook or what have you, or your friends you'll become friends with these people. I know a lot of elected officials. I don't consider them close friends. I don't talk to them all the time, but when I see them out, I speak to them. When stuff happens, I'll Facebook with them type stuff. So, in closing, I just want to say this. You can have a huge impact on a local level, working a lot less time, get to know the candidates, know your elected officials, and make a real difference locally instead of wasting your time on presidential elections where the media saturated, people have already made up their mind, and you're probably not going to meet a candidate, and if you do, it's very briefly, and they're not going to remember you. So that's Dude Live TV on elections and on political stuff in general. Dude Live TV, and I'm out.